Dear first year students, I have given you the introduction to the parts of sentences, the definition of the sentence, and I will today focus my attention to the kinds of sentences. Just before going to the kinds, I want to tell you various definitions, many kinds of definitions of the sentence. I have given you only one, and you come to the first category. The first category is a group of words. A group of words which makes complete sense is called a sentence. A group of words which makes complete sense is a sentence. Perhaps you have already covered the parts of sentences, or the parts of a sentence, the kinds of the sentences, the types of the sentences in your high school, but I think you have already covered it. But today, I will go on discussing all these things, since you have already been admitted into the summer course. So the first definition is a group of words which makes complete sense. A group of words which makes a complete sense is nothing but a sentence. The second category, or the second definition is a combination of words. Dear students, a combination of words that makes a complete sense. A combination of words that makes a complete sense is called a sentence. Category 3. A sentence is a word or a group of words. A sentence is a word or a group of words arranged in a particular order. So the placement of words is very essential. Dear students, the placement of words is very essential. You cannot place the words haphazardly. You cannot place the words haphazardly. Rather, that should have their own and proper positions. Otherwise, you cannot get a very meaningful sentence. So, the placement of words is very essential. Only because of that, the third category says a sentence is a word or a group of words. A sentence is a word or a group of words arranged in a particular order. The orderly arrangement of words gives meaning to the sentence. You mark. The orderly arrangement of words gives meaning to the sentence. So that is why sentence is meaningful. If you put the words in a wrong way, you cannot get a meaningful sentence. A meaningful sentence depends upon the placement of words. The noun, verb, adverb, adjective, preposition, conjunction, interjection, and many of the things are there in a sentence, and you have to put them, the words. You have to put the words in their proper places. So, the last one, I am giving you the last definition. A sentence is a group of properly arranged words. A sentence is a group of properly arranged words which gives complete meaning. A sentence is, you mark, a sentence is a group of properly arranged words. Again, a sentence is a group of properly arranged words which will give you a complete meaning, or which gives you a complete meaning. Arrangement of words I have told you again and again, or I am telling you again and again. Arrangement of words is very essential so far as a meaningful sentence is concerned, or meaningful sentence is there. Arrangement of words, placement of words, that is important. And I will go to the kinds of sentences. The kinds of sentences. Another thing is the types of sentences. Most of the grammarians have already given their viewpoint that there are 4 or 5 kinds of sentences. And other types of sentences are there. I will discuss later on. Today, I will tell you the kinds of sentences. Number 1 is declarative or assertive sentence. Declarative. Number 1 is declarative or assertive sentence. You come to declarative or assertive sentence. What is declarative or assertive sentence? A sentence that makes a statement or assertion. A sentence that makes an assertion or a statement is called a declarative or assertive sentence. An assertive sentence is also declarative, and a declarative sentence gives you a statement. It will positively give you a statement and also assertion, positivity, assertion. And I am telling you about the first kind of sentence. The first is assertive or declarative. assertive, assertive. assertive and declarative, declarative, declarative sentence. And dear students, I want to give you an example. What is assertive sentence or declarative sentence? I want to give you an example. The first example is, India is our motherland. You mark. India is our motherland. So this is assertive. This particular sentence is assertive. India is our motherland. I-N-D-I-A. India is our motherland. M-O-T-H-E-R-L-A-N-D. India is our motherland. So this is the assertive or declarative sentence. Number 2 example. We are all Indians. We are all Indians. We are all Indians. I-N-D-I-A-N-S. We are all Indians. This is about the declarative or assertive sentence. So, you mark the first example. India is our motherland. Number 2, we are all Indians. Assertive or declarative sentence. The sentences, I have told you, or I have given you the examples of 2 sentences. The sentences are positive, affirmative and declarative. You come to the second category. The second category of sentence is interrogative sentence. Interrogative. I-N-T-E-R-R-O. Write down. Interrogative. I-N-T-E-R-R-O. Interrogative sentence. Spell the word. I-N-T-E-R-R-O. Interrogative. G-A-T-I-V-E. Interrogative sentence is having a question mark. When the sentence is ended, you will give a question mark, interrogative mark. That is interrogative sentence. So there are divisions or to what I mark, what I have already marked, what I have already gone through. An interrogative sentence will be divided into 2 parts. One is possessive interrogative, the second one is non-possessive interrogative. I will discuss later. But today, what is an interrogative sentence? I want to tell you a sentence that asks a question. You mark. A sentence that asks a question is an interrogative sentence, or is called an interrogative sentence. And there is a question mark in the end. There is a question mark. I will give you one example. Who is your class teacher? Who is your class teacher? Who? I use WH word. Who? Who is your class teacher? And there is a question mark in the end. Dear students, that is an interrogative sentence without using WH word. If you want to make it inverted, if you want to make the sentence inverted, you will get an interrogative sentence. Have you eaten your meal? Have you taken your meal? Have you gone home? Have you done your homework? Have you done your task? Have you done your homework? So these are also, the sentences are inverted because there is inversion in the sentence, and you have an interrogative sentence. So interrogative sentences will be divided into two parts. I will tell you, they will have their own divisions, two divisions: possessive interrogative, possessive interrogative, non-possessive interrogative, possessive negative, non-possessive negative, and I will tell you in the course of time. So dear students, you mark the sentences. Normally I have given you two sentences. Who is your class teacher? Is that your workbook? Another sentence. Is that your workbook? Is that your workbook? So, it is another interrogative sentence. I have given you so many inverted sentences. Inversion. When there is inversion in the sentence, that will be an interrogative sentence. But when a negative adverb sits in the beginning of the sentence and the sentence is inverted, you cannot give a question mark in the end. You cannot do that. Suppose you have used a negative adverb in the beginning of the sentence. For example, never. Never do I take tea. Never do I take tea. But there is a full stop. You will never put any question mark. So, I am not telling about the negative adverb. I am telling about the sentences, sentences which has no negative adverb in the beginning, or which have no negative adverbs in the beginning. So negative adverbs will never bring any question mark. When they are used in the beginning of the sentences, you mark. So interrogative sentence, I have given you, in interrogative sentences will give you a question. It will give you a question. Who is your class teacher? Is that your workbook? So dear students, the sentences are called question sentences or interrogative sentences. They are called question sentences or interrogative sentences, and they end with question marks. They end with question marks, dear students. Then this is about the interrogative sentence. I tell you. You come to the imperative sentence. What is the imperative? The imperative sentence gives you a command, a request, order, entreaty, and many of the things like that. So a sentence, I am telling you about the imperative, IMPERATIVE, imperative sentence. IMPERATIVE, IMPERATIVE, imperative sentence. It gives you command, request, order, an entreaty, and all these things you will have. A sentence that expresses a command and an entreaty. A command and an entreaty is called an imperative sentence. I will give you two examples. Stand up, come here. Stand up, come here. These two are imperative sentences. Stand up, come here. And these are all imperative sentences. Because in every imperative sentence, you is omitted. You mark. In every imperative sentence, you is the subject and stand up is a predicate. You is omitted, that is hidden, but it is always referred to you. Imperative sentence is always referred to you. Dear students, stand up and I will give you stand up and come here. The sentences contain commands or requests. The sentences contain commands or requests, and they are called imperative sentences. In all imperative sentences, the subject is you, that is omitted, or that is kept hidden. And the imperative sentence is referred to you, which is the subject of the sentence. And the stand up is the predicate of the sentence, subject and the predicate. I have told you in the last class, a simple sentence is also having a subject and a predicate. So that will be the discussion in the future, when we will discuss the types of sentences. Simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence, and other categories of sentences are there, other divisions of sentences are there, and we will all discuss. So, you come to the exclamatory sentence, exclamation. So, you might have come across these sentences in your high school career. You might have gone through the high school grammar, and perhaps you have come across these sentences: assertive, interrogative, imperative, exclamatory, and I will give you another group. I will also give you another group today, another division today. Not all the grammarians have mentioned that category, but I will tell you. So you should come to know that exclamatory sentence. What is the exclamatory sentence? A sentence that expresses a strong feeling. A sentence that expresses a strong feeling of surprise, pain, or disgust is called an exclamatory sentence. A sentence that expresses, what does it express? A sentence that expresses a strong feeling of amazement, a strong feeling of surprise, strong feeling of surprise, even pain or disgust is known as exclamatory sentence. So, dear students, I will give you the examples of exclamatory sentences. Two examples I will give you. Number one, what a beautiful flower the rose is. So, this is the exclamatory remark. This is the exclamatory mark. Not a full stop. Only not a full stop. You mark, students. This is the exclamatory mark. What a beautiful flower the rose is. Number one. How beautiful it looks. Another sentence. How beautiful it looks. And these two sentences are exclamatory sentences. The sentences have expressed a strong feeling of surprise. The sentences have expressed a strong feeling of surprise. And that is what it has dealt with the exclamation, or it is the exclamatory sentence. And this is the symbol I have given you. Just at the end of the sentence, you will give this mark, a full stop, not a full stop, single full stop. But this is the exclamatory mark. You mark. Today, I gave you the four categories of sentences, four divisions of sentences, four kinds of sentences. So, number one is affirmative or assertive. Number one is affirmative, assertive or declarative. Assertive, but I have told you affirmative also, and declarative. It will give you assertion. It will give you a statement. What about the interrogative? Now, interrogative will give you a question, and question mark is also very essential when you close the sentence, when you complete the sentence. A question mark is there. And what about the imperative sentence? Imperative will give you command, order, request, all these things. And here, you is always hidden. You is, not you are. Here, you is always hidden. That is the subject. Dear students, I will tell you another category. These are the four categories, exclamatory. Then another category is there, that is called optative. O-P-T-A-T-I-V, optative. Very important category of sentence. Very important kind of sentence, that is optative. O-P-T-A-T-I-V-E, optative. It is a different category. So, what is an optative sentence? And what are the examples? Optative sentence will give you hope, wish, keen desire and prayer. Hope, wish, hope, H-O-P, hope, wish, W-I-S-H, keen desire, D-E-S-I-R-E, who keen desire, and also prayer. This is about the optative category or optative sentence. And you take the example. May God bless you. May God bless you is an optative sentence. And I will tell you another example. Let there be peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth. Appeal has been made. Appeal is also there. Appeal has been made. A-P-P-E-A-L. Appeal has been made. Dear students, in optative sentence, you will find the wish, in desire, appeal, prayer, and also the hope. All these things are there in optative sentences. Okay, yes. These optative sentences will give you all these things. Number one is God may bless you. What I say? May God bless you. May God bless you. And the number two is let there be peace on earth. And these are the divisions of the sentences, the categories of the sentences, the kinds of the sentences. And in the next class, I will tell you about the parts of sentences. About the parts of the sentences, parts of speech, parts of speech, parts of the sentences, different parts, different terms, words. Thank you all. Thank you all.